Good evening, and I welcome you, students. We are working and already giving lectures on a very important topic, the fundamental unit of life. Before our session begins, we are going to take deep breath in out, and we will be chanting the Om mantra 3 times, and you will experience the power of the Om as this sound of Om. The vibrations could be experienced in the stomach, throat, and then it comes out. What we are going to do, we will close our eyes, sit comfortably. Our palms are facing the top of our room and placed comfortably. Our feet are on the ground, touching the ground, and we will inhale from the nose. Inhale, deep inhaling, Ujjayi inhaling. Take as much oxygen as you can. The belly will come out, stomach expands, and when I will release it, I will be using Om. Inhale from the nose, exhale with Om. When you exhale, what happens? The stomach contracts as much as you can. This will release the negative energies and whatever negative emotions. Our main purpose is to relieve the emotional negative energies which are residing in our mind the whole day. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Relax your hands, legs, everything. Whatever tension is there, relax it. And your palms comfortably placed on your laps. We will have 3 chanting of Om mantras. You can 1, 2, 3 start. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Last time, inhale deeply. Oh. For a moment, sit in our eyes closed, normal breathing now. Come to the normal breathing. Experience the sound and other vibrations which have taken place inside your body. Om. That vibration goes right from the stomach, mouth, and through your mouth when you exhale with Om mantra, and the vibrations reach the mind also. Rub your hands as heat energy is produced, work is done by the hands that converts work into heat energy. This is a healing energy, and gently massage your face, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, neck, and all parts of your face, neck, your ears, head, and slowly and slowly open your eyes with a smile and an attitude of gratitude. We are thankful to the God, we are thankful to the universe, we are breathing healthy, and we are busy in our work. We thank everyone and our parents, our friends, our relatives, our gurus, that we are doing good and are living a healthy, happy, and peaceful life. And open your eyes. Do you see any relaxation, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What we are trying to do, that we are relaxing all our body cells so that we can understand whatever we are studying. Okay, we are going to begin our session, and it's going to be another positive and good session, positive and good session, everything positive, everything good.
Okay, this lecture is on the cell wall. We told you last time and the previous lectures, we have shown the fundamental unit of life is cell, and the cell is where biological activities or chemical changes are taking place. And we have discussed with you the plasma membrane. Now we are saying there is a cell wall. Cell wall. What is a cell wall? You know, if I'm sitting here, I also have skin. What happens? Skin, if certain materials can come out of my skin and but skin does not allow everything to go inside my body. Cell wall is very essential, is a structural layer surrounding some types of cell. I'm saying some types of cell, not all types of cell, just outside the cell membrane. We have shown you last time in the lecture, there is a cell membrane. Outside the cell membrane, now we are saying there is a cell wall. Just outside the cell membrane, it can be tough, flexible, and sometimes rigid. It provides a cell with both structural support and protection. So much biological activity, chemical changes are taking place, reactions are taking place, and there is a in oxygen in out, diffusion of gases and osmosis. You have seen an exchange of material is going on, materials in and waste products out. All this is going to happen, but there is a need in certain cells for a tough, flexible, and rigid support to protect the cell. Otherwise, the cell will not be existing, it will break. And also filtering mechanism. We have seen how it is a selective permeable membranes is acting. Cell walls are present in most prokaryotes except molecular bacteria, in algae, fungi, and eukaryotes, including plants, but are absent in animals. See, cell wall is absent in animals. In plants, it is present. In plants, it is present in plants. A major function is to act as pressure vessels, preventing overexpansion of the cell when water enters. In plants, you have seen water is entering. If too much water will enter, what will happen? There will be expansion because pressure is higher in the roots, water is going on, and overexpansion of the cell can take place when water enters. So the cells can burst. That is the reason that we are saying it is a structural support and protection, and also acts as a filtering unit. Plant cells, plant cell, in addition to plasma. Last time we told you plasma membrane is there in the
Yes,
cell.
sir.
Now in plants, I am saying in plants, plasma membrane, in addition to plasma membrane, there is a plant cell. In plant cell have another rigid outer covering called cell wall. So plants have, first they have there is a plasma membrane. They have a plasma membrane, and then they also have a cell wall. They also have cell wall. This lies outside the plasma. This cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Mainly, this is made up of what?
Cellulose.
What is cellulose? Cellulose is a complex carbohydrate. It is a complex carbohydrate. Cellulose is a complex substance and provides structural strength to the plants. Plants have structural strength. What the cellulose does? Cellulose provides structural strength to the plants. The plants are not falling, they are existing. They have a structure and there is a strength in them. If a question is given, what are the functions of the cell walls of the plants? What are the functions? Mechanical strength is very essential. Or the leaves, and plants or trees, they have leaves and they have वो जो टहनियां होती हैं, शाखाएं होती हैं, they need mechanical strength. So it gives mechanical strength, maintains cell shape, controls cell expansion. As we say, when water will go in, and what will happen? The cell can expand. So it prevents, controls cell expansion, controls intercellular transport, protects against infective organisms. There are organisms which can infect. Has a signaling device against attack of microorganisms. Microorganisms can also attack. So it has a signaling device. It acts as a reservoir of food. You know where the food is there. Cellulose is the food of the plants. When it green colored leaves, they get sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, they will prepare what? They will prepare cellulose. So these are some of the important functions. Note it down because such questions are likely to be given. What are the functions? So plants have cell wall as well as a plasma, because of they need mechanical strength, shell shape, control cell expansion, intercellular transport, protects against infective organisms. There are organisms which it can infect, and reservoir of the food. These are the functions of that. What here is a picture of the cross section of a plant cell. See how it looks like. Cytoplasm. You can see there is a cell wall, cell membrane, and outside the cell membrane, cell wall. What do you see? This one, student. This is a cell wall outside. And is also there is something, this is cell membrane inside. It has a membrane and cell wall. This is the cross section of a plant cell. Other nucleus, nucleons, nuclear membrane, chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosomes, smooth ER, rough ER, cytoplasm. Also, all these things are there. So there is a cell membrane and cell wall. Membrane is there and cell wall is there. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. We have already said cellulose is a complex carbohydrate. Cell wall is only found in plant. Do we have cell wall? No, it is in plants. The cellulose provides protected framework for a plant cell to survive. Survival is very essential. If they don't have it, then plants cannot survive. So it protected framework, protection framework. What is this? It provides a protective framework which is essential for the survival of the plants. For the plants to survive. If the plants have to survive, this has to be there. Cellulose is called the structural carbohydrate because it is used in protection and support of cell wall. Also helps in plant keep its shape. The shape of the plant, you have seen plants maintain their shapes because of the
Yes.
cell wall. We have a skeleton and a plant has a cell wall. What do we have? How we are maintaining our shape? Tell me how my shape is maintained, how your shape is maintained. What is inside
Because
you?
of skeleton.
You have the skeleton of bones
Yes, sir.
that is responsible for my, that is my support system, that is my protection system, and that the bones inside me, you can see that they are providing support and giving me a shape, skeleton. So we have a skeleton and a plant has a cell wall. The plants doesn't have bones, does it have? So it has
No,
a
sir.
cell wall. It has a cell wall which will help the plant to maintain its shape. Cell walls are made up of what? Cellulose. They protect the cells, but it also allows the plant to grow. Not only protection, they also help in the growth of the plant. So they are protecting, ठीक है, as well as they maintain the shape. What they do? They maintain the shape and protect the cells. Also allows plants to grow. They allows plants to grow. The plants can grow. Allows the plants to grow. In smaller plants, the cell wall is more flexible. In smaller plants, you have smaller plants. What happens in them? In smaller plants, cell wall is more flexible. Cell wall is more flexible. So a strong wind and push it, then they bounce right back and forth. Okay? What happens when strong winds blow? They still survive.
Yes, sir.
In smaller plants, wall is more flexible. You will see that when wind is blowing, the bigger plants fall down or smaller plants?
Bigger plant.
Bigger plants. Because they are less flexible. Smaller or more flexible, they can just move with the wind. Pushed it over, then they bounce right up, back and again. So the more flexible the plant is, the less it will be uprooted by the winds when the winds blow. You have seen in our country strong winds blowing at beaches and many points. You have seen it. The bigger trees, how the trees fall off the big trees. Very important points we came to know, which we were not knowing earlier. So which has a cell wall? Animals or plants?
Animals. Plants.
Plants have cell wall. What is the function of the cell wall? Everything has a function. Everything has a function. What is the function of the plant wall, cell wall in the plants?
It provides shape to the plants, helps in their growth,
Hmm.
and protects them from wind.
Protection is very important. Not only rain, we have shown you it protects from the other microorganisms also. And the water, if too much water will be there, then what can happen? So it is very important functions they perform. When living plants loses water through osmosis, there is a shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. This is known as plasmolysis. What is plasmolysis? Plasmolysis. Plants lose water, yes or no? Transpiration. The leaves through the osmosis. When excess water is there, excess water is lost by the plants through transpiration. We have shown you. What happens? There is a shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. Away from the cell wall. This phenomena is known as plasmosis. We can observe this phenomenon by performing the following activity. What is the activity? Mount the peel of a Rio leaf in water on a slide and examine cells under the high power of microscope. You have a microscope in the science lab, you can see them. Okay? Examine the cells. You can examine cell under a high power of microscope. Note the small green granules called chloroplasts. What do they have? Chloroplasts. What are chloroplasts? Chloroplasts. They are what? They are green substance. Green substance. Okay? Called they contain green substance called chlorophyll. You are aware of the chlorophyll also is a pigment.
Yes, sir.
What is the function of chlorophyll?
Sir, it helps in photosynthesis in plants.
It absorbs sunlight and photosynthesis. Put a strong solution of sugar or salt on the mounted leaf on a slide. Sugar or salt solution. Sugar or salt solution. Wait for a minute and observe under the microscope. What do we see? What will you see in this case? You will observe under a microscope. You are adding sugar or salt. Now place some Rio leaves in boiling water for few minutes. This kills the cells. In the first case, you will be able to observe the cells. If I boil it, what will happen?
Yes, sir.
Boil, this kills the cells. It will kill the cells. The mount one leaf on a slide and observe it under a microscope. Put a strong solution of sugar or salt on the mounted leaf. Wait for a minute and observe it again. What do we find? What do we find? Did plasmosis occur now?
No, sir. In second case, it's not.
So what has happened? If the cells will be killed, then what will happen? The cell walls are what they're
Plasma.
doing. Plasmosis will not take place. So if plasmosis will not take place, then what will happen? There will be no contraction or shrinkage of the cell. So activities can be performed in order to study the plasmolysis. Okay. What do we infer from this activity? It appears that only living cells and not the dead cells are able to absorb water by osmosis. Important point. Living cells, they can absorb water. How they will absorb water?
By osmosis.
By osmosis. If a cell is dead, then it cannot absorb water. The dead cell absorb water? The answer is no. So when you heated it strongly, what happened? When then the cells were heated, what happened? The cells became dead.
Yes, sir.
And when the cells are dead, they cannot absorb water. Osmosis cannot take place. So there will be no shrinkage. So cell walls permit the cells of plants, fungi, and bacteria to withstand very dilute hypnotic external idiom without bursting. This is important point. We told you 3 types of solution. What are
Yes, sir.
Hypotonic means what? Hypertonic are dilute solutions.
Yes, sir.
Dilute solutions means hypo means less, low, less concentration. If concentration is less, the solvent is more. Here the solvent is water.
Yes.
So there is more of solvent.
Yes, solvent.
That is our water. So that is hypotonic is a dilute solution, is a dilute solution. So when the external medium is hypotonic, there is a lot of water outside. What happens? Then water, if there is more water outside, as you are watering the plants, it goes from the roots to the plant by osmosis. What will happen to the cells of the plant? If they absorb large amount of water, they can burst. They will burst otherwise. But the cell walls permit the cells to withstand very dilute hypotonic external without bursting. In such media, cells tend to take up water by osmosis. The cell swells, building up pressure against the cell wall. The cell wall exerts equal pressure against the swollen cell. Because of their walls, such cells can withstand much greater changes in the surrounding medium than animals. Understood? What will happen? The cells of the plants are absorbing water because the solution is very dilute, hypotonic outside as compared to inside. So then the cell will expand and can burst if they absorb too much of water. But the cell walls protects. What happens? The cell wall builds a pressure, and that pressure does what? If a cell becomes swollen, the cell wall exerts a pressure on it, and as a result of this, it can withstand greater changes in pressure. Greater changes in pressure. Okay? Cells can withstand much greater changes in surrounding medium than animal cells. Then the animal cells, we are talking of the plant cells here. So that is, we say cell walls protect the, what the cell wall is doing? Protection. If too much water is being absorbed by the plant, it is giving a protection. It is giving a protection. Okay. So we have already discussed what do you mean by cell wall. So cell walls permit the cells of plant, fungi and bacteria to understand very dilute hypotonic external media without bursting. Otherwise, if cell wall is not there, they will burst. The cells will burst. And when the cell swallows, the wall exerts equal and opposite pressure to the swollen cell, and then they are able to withstand much higher pressures. The next is important part of the cell is a nucleus. The cells have a nucleus. Cells have a nucleus. The nucleus has a double layered covering called nuclear membrane. This is a, we have shown, this is a picture of the nucleus. Nucleus is present. Now this nucleus has double layered covering called nuclear membrane. This is our, can you see the double layer? This one. This double layer is visible?
Yes,
All
sir.
So what is this? Nuclear membrane. The whole, this is a nucleus. This is a nucleus which is present in the cell. It has nuclear membrane. What are the components? It has
Nuclear.
double layered. This is a double layered nuclear membrane. Double layered nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane has got pores which will allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to the outside. Important, what is this nuclear membrane doing? Nuclear membrane has, what it has?
Pores.
Pores. And what these pores does, they will allow transfer. What is transfer of material? Transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside. Transfer of material will take place from inside to the outside. From inside the nucleus to the outside, that is to the cytoplasm. We will show you what is cytoplasm, that is present outside the nucleus. So what we see here, these are nuclear pores, nuclear membrane. There is a material which is called chromatin, nucleolus. All right. Nucleus is a membrane bound structure that contains the cell's hereditary information and control the cell's growth and reproduction. What it contains? Cell's hereditary information. Whatever cell's hereditary information is, that is nucleus, and also control cells growth and reproduction. Cells growth and reproduction, we are seeing both are taking place. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nucleus is present in eukaryotic cells. They may be absent in few cells like mammalian RBCs. So where it is present in all eukaryotic cells, but it can be absent in few cells like mammalian RBCs. Okay. There are chromosomes consist of DNA which contains hereditary information and instructions for cell growth, development and reproduction. When cell wall is resting, not dividing, the chromosomes are organized into long and tangled structures called chromatin and not into individual chromosomes. You have seen the structure of that. Thread-like. Where is that? Thread-like, you see this? Thread-like. They are present inside the nucleus, this chromatin. Nucleoplasm is a gelatinous substance within the nuclear envelope. Nucleolus is not surrounded by a membrane. It is densely stained structure found in the nucleus. Nucleus produces ribosomes and are known as protein factories. So nucleus is a genetic control center of eukaryotic cell. Nucleus. In most cells, there is only one nucleus. It is spherical and most prominent part of cell, making it about 10% of the cell. How much percentage? 10% of the cell volume. It has unique structure and function that is essential to the cells. Note it down, students. All important points. What are the functions of the nucleus? Nucleus controls the hereditary characteristics of the organism. This is very important. Hereditary characteristics. What are hereditary characteristics? What are hereditary characteristics? You know, DNA, RNA, and all that, the genetic information. It maintains cellular metabolism through controlling synthesis of particular enzymes. Enzymes are being synthesized inside the nucleus. It is responsible for protein synthesis, cell division, growth, and differentiation. It stores hereditary material in the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, also stores proteins. It stores proteins and RNA in the nucleus. In the nucleus, which is present inside the nucleus. Note down, students. Note down, all these points are important. Note down. Have you noted down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have observed cells from an onion cells. Did you observe cell from an onion cell? We have performed an experiment activity in our previous lectures.
Yes,
Now, this is based on NCRT book observations. Let us now observe cells from our own body. We can do this in the science or bio lab. You have a bio lab in the school.
yes, sir.
So once you go to the school, you will see all this. Simple experiments are done in the 9th and 10th class in your science labs. But this year, because the schools are not opening, so you have to imagine things which you cannot see. Let us take a glass slide with a drop of water in it. Using an ice cream spoon gently scrape the inside surface of the cheek. With the help of a needle, we can transfer this material and spread it evenly on the glass slide. To color the material, we can put a drop of methylene blue. Methylene blue, these are dyes, they are highly colored solution. Now the material is ready for observation under microscope. When we put a color, then under microscope, we can see it easily. Do not forget to put cover slip on it. What do we observe? What is the shape of the cells we see? Right on the observation sheet. Was there a darky colored spherical or oval dot-like structure near the center of each cell? This structure is called the nucleus. Were there similar structures in onion peel cells? Imagine you are done this activity. What is your answer?
Yes, sir. We can see different parts
You can
of
see
cell. Yes, sir.
in the where microscope everything will be possible. Why students will do these experiments and you will see what is this. You can see the cells by using microscope.
Yes, sir.
We have seen for the onion what we see. Now we are saying you observe for an onion this, you can observe it for yourself. Your own body has cells, so you can observe them. What we said, the nucleus has double layered covering called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane has pores. This nuclear membrane. Nucleus has a double layered covering, which we call as a nuclear membrane. There are pores in it. What the pores will do? What the pores will do if you have pores in something?
Controls the entry instead of
The transfer of material. There will be transfer of material from inside the nucleus to the outside. From inside the nucleus to outside of the nucleus. Inside nucleus to the outside nucleus. What is outside? That is the cytoplasm, which will come in the next topic. Cytoplasm. Outside the nucleus, you have cytoplasm. Nucleus contains chromosomes. Chromosomes. Nucleus contains chromosomes, which are visible as rod-shaped structures. These are rod-shaped structures, chromosomes, which are visible as a rod shape only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes contain information for inheritance of characters from parents to next generation in the form of DNA. What they contain? DNA molecules. DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid is called DNA. You have heard about DNA test? You are doing DNA test for the identification of individual human beings. They want to find the parental of the human being, they can do DNA test. What are those? Deoxyribonucleic acids. DNA molecules contain information necessary for constructing and organizing cell. How the cells are constructed. Functional segments of DNA are called genes. Functional segments of DNA. Functional segments of DNA are called genes. In a cell which is not dividing, this DNA is present as part of chromatin material. Chromatin material. Chromatin material is visible as entangled mass. Chromatin material visible as entangled mass. You have seen as entangled mass which is present inside the cell. Thread-like structure. Visible as entangled mass of thread-like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, chromatin material gets organized into chromosomes. It will change into chromosomes, and whenever the cell wants to divide, cell division takes place. Cell division will take place. Note down everything, note down. So the genetic information is present in DNA, which are coming from where the DNA is present, chromosomes and chromatin material. You have seen. You can see the picture which we have shown you. This is the nucleus, a nuclear membrane, nuclear pores, chromatin. This is the chromatin. Entangled thread-like chromatin. When the cells want to divide, then it will arrange. Otherwise, it is entangled state. Entangled state. What are prokaryotic cells? Prokaryotic cells are single-celled microorganisms known to be the earliest on Earth. They are known to be the earliest on Earth. Prokaryotic include bacteria and archaea. It consists of a single membrane and therefore all reactions occur within the cytoplasm. It consists of single cell membrane. Single membrane and therefore all reactions occur within the cytoplasm. They can be free living or parasites. Examples. See, Examples of perikaryotes are bacteria and cyanobacteria, blue green algae. What are the different parts? You can see this. There is a cytoplasm, there are ribosomes, nucleoid DNA is present, plasma membrane, cell wall, capsule, and pilus. All this has been shown. Note down everything, students. What are prokaryotic? Prokaryotes are single-celled organisms that are the earliest and most primitive forms of life on Earth. Earliest and most primitive form. They comprise bacteria, archaea. They typically have diameter of 0.125 micrometer. Micro. This is not milli, it is micrometer. And their DNA is not contained within the nucleus. The DNA is not contained within the nucleus. They are the earliest and most primitive forms of life. Earliest and most primitive form. Instead, their DNA is a circular and can be found in region called nucleoid. Their DNA is circular and can be found in nucleoid, which floats on cytoplasm. They are present in the cytoplasm, where cytoplasm present outside the nucleus, but inside the cell wall. Prokaryotes are organisms that consist of single prokaryotic cell. So they have single prokaryotic cell. Which are those? These are the organisms which consist of single prokaryotic cell. Note down everything. Prokaryotic cells are not as complex as eukaryotic cells. They have no true nucleus and the DNA is not contained within a membrane or separated from the rest of the cell, but is coiled up in a region of cytoplasm which is called nucleotide. This is called nucleotide. Note down everything, students. Nucleotides. Eukaryotic cells are found in plants, animals, fungi, and protists. They range from 10 to 100 micrometer in diameter. Size is 10 to 100 micrometer. And their DNA is contained within membrane-bound nucleus. They have nucleus which is membrane-bound. Eukaryotes are organisms containing the eukaryotic cells. So there are those organisms which have eukaryotic cells present in them. Eukaryotic cell present in them. Note down, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the difference? Question was asked. What is the difference between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells? This I said they are primitive and very old when things were not developed to the extent. And they have important point. First point, they have no nucleus. They have no nucleus. There is no nucleus in prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells, they have nucleus. Well-defined nucleus is there. You have seen membrane is there, cell nucleus. You have seen the structure of nucleus. We have shown you how there are pores. DNA arrangement is prokaryotic circular and eukaryotic linear. DNA arrangement, which is, what is DNA? What is DNA, students?
Hereditary characteristic present in a chromosome.
Nucleic acid, deoxynucleic acid, and DNA and RNA is nucleic acid. Circular, they are linear. Size of the diameter 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. Here 10 to 100 micrometer. These are the size or the diameter. Unicellular, always prokaryotic are always unicellular. And eukaryotic sometimes, means may or may not be. Multicellular. Well, parakaryotic, are they multicellular?
No,
Multicellular means what?
organisms that are made up of large number of cells.
Many, multi means many, many cellular. And what about eukaryotic cells? They are
Always multicellular.
usually means that when everything is not 100%, matlab they can be usually. So multicellular they can be. Mostly they can. Matlab what they are? Mostly. Or they are mostly. They are mostly. What we are saying, they are mostly. Usually means mostly. They are multicellular. All right, this ends the third part of this lecture on the fundamental units of life. We will continue more about this. We have studied what is cell wall, what is nucleus, and what are their functions. We will further study what other components are there in our next lecture. Okay, then my best wishes to all the students. Keep sharing our videos with your friends and students so that they can subscribe this channel and take benefit of these lectures which are coming in the YouTube, and you can forward it to at least few of your friends. Okay, then I see you next time.
Thank you, sir.